All right, hey YouTube, we're over here first as we usually are. Welcome to your vocal workout. Except today it's less of a workout and more of an educational sector. So I'll let some people come through. But today we are talking about toplining. And toplining is just the most important thing. So hang tight. I'm going to talk to you about toplining definitely very soon. Just waiting for Instagram to come on board as well. So once we can go live with Instagram, we'll dive into today's topic. So if anyone already knows what toplining is, then you guys can let me know in the comments. What's your best definition of toplining? Do you know? Do you not? We can find out together. All right, where's Instagram? Trying to get our technology sorted. If you guys are regulars on this stream, you'll know that it always takes us a moment to figure out our technology at the beginning of the session. Still nothing, guys. Bear with us. If you're new here, welcome. If you're not new here, then maybe you guys can enlighten some of the guys that are new. So we'll be doing our regular warm-up, so don't worry about that. We'll definitely be warming up and keeping your progression going, but we are going to take a little look today from more of a songwriting perspective. So we're going to get a bit more creative today, and that's going to kind of be the theme going forwards, is to start getting a little bit creative with our sessions rather than just it being us working on certain aspects and that's the only thing. Instead, now we're going to kind of move forwards and start creating with each other. Okay, come on Instagram, where are you? Nowhere to be found, it seems. So how are you guys getting on with your sessions so far? I suppose that is the real question, isn't it? Here we go. Instagram is loading. Here we go. I've joined. Here we go. Here we go.
Hey, let's go. I was sending you a message on YouTube saying just go live on yours if it don't work.
We made it.
Like live is when you join up with somebody. It's really like sketchy, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a really strange process. It doesn't really like it, does it?
No, it doesn't. It definitely doesn't. That's cool. Anyway, I'll leave you to it. Is there anything you need me for?
No, I think you're good today. Today we're looking from more of a songwriting perspective, so creative times.
Nice. Cool. I'm going to go and listen in the other room. I'll be back in a bit.
Go for it. See you later. All right then, guys. So today we're talking about toplining. And toplining is the single biggest skill that you can have as a vocalist. Because sure, there's a lot of work out there for performing cover songs and performing things that other people write, but you can contribute so much to a recording session if you're able to create your own top lines and create your own harmonies. Now, I might have some of you thinking, what on earth is a top line, Cloudy? What are you talking about? Well, a top line is basically when there's a track already made and they need vocals, but they're not very good at writing vocal parts, or maybe they just don't want to, I don't know. So your job as the top liner is to come in and write the words, the vocal melody, add any harmonies that you might want to add. So it's a really varied role that you're going to get. So let's have a look at something that I had to do top line wise for another teacher at CK Music Academy. And I think some of you, if you're regulars on this stream, you'll already be familiar with some of his stuff, because I know that he does some of the loops for Chris's Pots and Pans and Wooden Spoons. So this is the track that he sent me. Forgot to mute my vocal there. So this is the track that he sent through, right? And the brief that came with it was, I need airy vocals, something very Billie Eilish type of vibes. That was the brief for this. So when we're listening through, the first thing we want to do is identify the different sections, okay? So already here we've had verse, and this right now is the chorus part. So we're kind of fleshing out the sections as we go. And so he said, Billie Eilish, that's the vibe. So I looked her up, and she does have a lot of airy, breathy type of vocal stuff. And the first song that I heard from her was, or that I saw, was called Bad Guy. And so I kind of thought, okay, bad guy, that's going to be my theme for this kind of almost copycat, influenced by Billie Eilish. So that was the vibe that I went for. Now, the first thing that I always do when I'm top lining is I think, right, I'm going to start with the hook. Other people might have different ways of doing it, and that's what's great about singing and music in general, is that there's not really one way to do things. But I thought to myself, I think the most important part of this needs to be the hook. That's the part that people are going to be listening for. That's the part that gets repeated a lot. And that's the part that people are going to be humming and singing to themselves when the song's over. So that's got to have my most energy. It's got to have the most focus. So that's why I start with it and then work backwards. So this is the hook that I came up with, using the words bad guy as my kind of platform for the next part. So let's have a listen to this. Hey Jonathan, thanks so much for joining us. And system overload. Thanks for that, Logic. Cool. Okay. But you got through most of the hook. You got like 2 notes away from having the full hook there. So you'll notice there that's repetitive. It's always it's always coming from one note back down. So it's basically the same melody 4 times with different slightly different words and little riffs on the end to make the sections a little bit different, but not too different. The point is the repetitiveness, right? And that's got all the airy tones, it's got all the breathy tones that was in the brief. So the next thing that I thought would be good is let's add some harmonies to that, because by itself it holds up, but it hasn't really got that oomph that we're looking for. We need that like sensation of it. It's the most lifted up part of the song. It's the part of the song that hits the hardest. So if we listen to it again, these are my added harmonies. I'll add them in one by one so that you guys can hear the different ones. So the first one I went for is I always do the lowest one first. That's just the way my brain works. Other people do it in different orders, but my brain works lowest first. So this is the low harmony that we added. If Logic, it will allow me. Come on, Logic. So this is the only problem with when you've got live stuff. You get error codes. So the best thing that I can do right now is to quit some of the other programs I've got running on my computer and see what happens. No, still nothing. Okay. What if I mute out some of these other parts? Let's give this a pop. No, still nothing. All right. Well, this has kind of derailed my session today. My session today was going to be all about showing you guys how I work and how we get through some top lining. But Logic has decided not to do that. Logic has said no. So let me see if it will do it now that I've given it a restart. No, still nothing. All right, we'll restart it again. Has anyone got any questions about top lining in the meantime while I reboot my Logic in hopes of it?
I maybe have some advice on the system overload.
Oh, okay.
So what you could do is, and this is really useful for people, and actually just you doing the session today, Galvez, made me think about we could do some more reproduction on this, because it's very helpful if you go hand in hand with what you're doing.
Definitely.
Logic has an amazing feature called freeze tracks, and what it does is it basically it bounces them in place or exports them in place there and doesn't use any of the CPU, and it makes it a file, and it only takes a couple of seconds to actually do that. So it might not appear, but if you right click on one of the tracks, it should come up with an option to freeze track, and that then will enable you to play more tracks and do that.
Awesome. Okay. So we're back. It's back up. It took its sweet time to load. So it's back up. Let me see if it will play. And if not, then let's definitely do your freeze tracks trick. And system overload. Okay, so explain that to me again, Chris. How do we do that on Logic?
Okay, so look, what we're we're going to do, and I'll try and run through this. I know no one visually can see this, but if anyone else is using Logic and watching this back, feel free to message us, and I'll make a video about it, or maybe I'll just do a live. That might be the easiest one on YouTube with it, and then kind of link to it. But let me just get empty projects. Just open up. So we've opened up. Let's just say it's an audio track. If you right click on that audio track, there should be at the bottom track header components, and then there's something called freeze. It doesn't show automatically. If you click on freeze, you will see like a little snowflake appear.
Yeah, it's so cute.
I would suggest not to put this on loads of channels. What I would do is I would just put it on the ones you know are very CPU hungry. So like if you've got loads of plugins on your vocals because it's making this loads of effect, or whatever you might put on there, then click that auto freeze, and when you click the space bar to play, what's going to happen is it's just going to go right, it's going to do a quick bounce all the way to the end for that particular channel.
Okay.
And then when you hit play next time, it's basically like playing an MP3 back that's done, and then none of the plugins are being, you can't edit anything if you want to move in and cut things up, but and you can't put any more plugins on, but to save up CPU is a really good feature that Logic has, that not all DAWs have, as far as I'm aware. Pro Tools doesn't.
Yeah, that's an awesome trick. I didn't know about that, so let's give it a pop and see what happens. All right, so
and for those of you, you should be able to see there, it goes green. This little snowflake goes green when that means you're frozen, and then you hit play, it will kind of go like that, and then obviously there's nothing here, and then when you hit play back, it should be there with all your plugins on, and it won't be using CPU.
And it's still overloading.
How many have you frozen?
Just 2.
How many tracks have you got in total?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Cool. Freeze another 6.
Cool.
All the ones that you use the most, and you could actually freeze all of them because you're not editing anything here.
Yeah, sure. I'll freeze them all and see what happens.
It doesn't take that long to do it either.
Yeah, it's a speedy thing. Here we go. What about now? Still overload.
But has it done the freeze track?
It has frozen them all.
Interesting.
But still overload. I'm not sure why that is. I think maybe my laptop is just being a sad laptop today.
And then the other thing to do in this particular case is just reset your laptop, which is probably going to take you too much time at the moment. And obviously that's not. But the freeze track thing should work. That would normally work. I don't know whether that's actually doing it properly or not.
I've got a little green snowflake on the channels now, so it would suggest that it's.
Put it on all of them. See if that does it.
Yeah, I've put it on all of them, and still overload. So save it and quit and open it up one more time and just see if that does it. And then if not, I guess you can just maybe sing over the track or something. I don't know. You can't think that. It's up to you. Let's find out what Logic is saying. I do have a lesson at 1:30, so if this doesn't work, then we will reconvene our lesson for tomorrow, and hopefully
tomorrow. Yeah, it's fun.
Hopefully it'll be better.
It's actually good because we'll come up with some bits on the production side of things. We can link up on this. It makes sense to do that, so we can make it so people, if they've got questions on that, then you can feed that to me, and I'll do that as well. And then
definitely, yeah.
Because they go hand in hand, don't they? So
yeah, for sure.
That's fine. Should we wrap it up for today then?
Cool. Let's wrap it up. And tomorrow will be the day where we get to look into toplining a little bit better.
That's fine. We'll do that, and we'll do that tomorrow, and we'll see you guys all tomorrow at 1:15 for the Cloudy session on Songwriting.
Awesome, guys. So you heard it here. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye.
See you later. Bye.
Awesome, guys. So you heard it here.